Okay. Eto. Ohayoko. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Foxtrots. Welcome to Shrine Talk episode 5.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, Yoriichi. I will hydrate in a bit. But first things first. Introductions. So, today, the topic is video game main characters. And our special guest is Celio. Say hello.
Hello. Ohayoko.
Ohayoko, yes.
I
Alright.
want to say it too.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so, do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Sure. My name is Celio. My character, I am a demon sheep VTuber, and I run a channel on, I run a show on channel 666 in hell. It's called Celio Channel. It's my very own TV show, and you should all watch it because I need ratings. They bad.
Alright.
Just kidding.
I gave Celio a shout out on the chat, so if you guys want to give her a follow, please do. She last thing she streamed with us was FF14. Oh my god, what were you doing in the critically acclaimed MMO?
I was playing with Efruz. Efruz is my partner, and we're trying to get him to finish Shadowbringers so that we can both play Endwalker together. He's still in the beginning of Shadowbringers, so we're trying to play a little bit a day so we don't get like burnt out or anything. So yeah, that's what we were doing last time. That was about a week ago, I guess.
Yeah, have to stream his reaction for 5.3.
No, I want to. I'm trying to figure out how we would do that because like I want to capture his gameplay while he's playing and like his voice and stuff while he's going because I'm already like caught up with FF14, so my reaction, I've already seen everything, but I want to hear like a fresh person's reaction. I think it's so cute. Like I've watched him play since A Realm Reborn, and like seeing his reactions to like all of the different stuff in the game, it's really cute. And like I guess it's just more fun playing with someone who's like special to you and just like watching them have fun. It's a really like nice experience, and I'm glad that we get to play it together because it's something that I'm really passionate about. I've been playing FF14 for like 5 years. This will be my 5th year in December. So having him play with me, it's a really fun experience. Yeah.
Whoa, hang on.
I'm glitching.
You're glitching. OBS Ninja Club. There we go. Very good.
It looks kind of cool. No, I kind of like it.
Hello, Chaos. Thanks for dropping by. All right, so, as I mentioned, today we're going to talk about video game main characters, but of course we will talk about other characters as well. But the focus will definitely be on main characters. So let me quickly share like the goals of this particular wait, spell me. Yoriichi, kinda, can you explain to me what you mean by spell me? Anyway, so the goal of this episode is that bring up the thingamabopper. Okay, there it is. Okay, so I want to share our spell the word me. M-E. Me. Okay. So I want to share my opinions as well as Celio's opinions on just how important main characters are in video games. We also share our favorite video game characters, both main and supporting, how to and how not to make a main character, also the argument of pre-made characters versus characters you can create, and characters writing in non-story driven games. So this should be something fun to talk about. Okay, so first question, Celio, how would you define main character?
feel like I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Like, it's the main character. The story revolves around them, or at least it's supposed to. In a normal game, the story would revolve around them. Their actions usually would affect the plot of the game in some way. There's usually a problem that that character would have to face that they either have to solve or they have to like confront or they have to deal with it. It's a major part of the story. And they would have to either, you know, just like figure it out, or they would like work with other people that support them. That would be the supporting cast that help the main character. Yeah, the story just kind of revolves around them. Yeah, it would just be their story. I say that in a normal game because I have played games where the main character, quote unquote, story doesn't really revolve around them, and I'm going to talk about that. Actually, I'm really excited to talk about that.
Well, I totally agree with your view. A main character is basically the whole focus of the story. So not necessarily the character that you control, because there are some games in the past that you could do control a character, but the story doesn't revolve around them. I mean, the easiest example I can give is, say, World of Warcraft. You do control the hero of Azeroth, but the story doesn't revolve around them. The story revolves around the other Warcraft characters. But in FF14, you control the Warrior Flight / Warrior Darkness, and generally, they are the focal point of a story. But of course, you can argue that, well, for Heavensward, the main story was all about Ishgard. Stormblood, it was all about Othard. Othard? Yeah, Othard, the Far East. And then Shadowbringers, it was all about the first. So I'm just like, actually, yeah. But to be fair, you are still the focus of the story. And it's not like, duh, I'm the focus because I'm the one out there solving everyone's problems. Not necessarily. Like, the Warrior Flight of F14, your player character still has a very important role in the story. And I think more so in Endwalker, which I'm very excited to see. So yeah. So main character is not necessarily the character you control, but the focus of the story, or basically has a huge influence on the whole narrative. All right, so let's go to the more casual questions. What are your preferences when it comes to main characters?
I guess in my case, I like a character that I can relate to. Usually like characters that have I don't like anyone that's like super OP. They're like OP, they gotta have a really good personality for me to like them. Like, I would consider Alpha in Tales of Arise to be kind of OP, but I thought he was cute and funny, so I liked him. He was kind of stupid in a cute way, and I like that about him. But he was really OP with the whole I can't feel pain and stuff up until the point where like he couldn't have that power. But yeah, I guess just like more human characters that I can like connect with, characters that have like, you know, struggles that seem realistic to me at least. I know that people play fantasy games for like escapism and stuff, but I do think that you can go so far in escapism to where it's no longer really like relatable, and like if it gets to that point, I can't really bring myself to like, I guess, enjoy it as much because I can't like connect to it in a way that I would if it had like characters that I guess felt real.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Like, I get that a lot of people are attracted to characters that aren't them or something that they want to be. But there's also a certain appeal to a character that you can totally relate to. And I think recently, this is also something that people sort of need. Because, like, in a story, or in a video game at least, you can be certain to some extent that the main character will succeed in their endeavors. And when you can relate to that character, it sort of serves like an inspiration, like, hey, if this character that's totally like realistic in their depiction as a human being or a character can struggle out of a very tense situation, maybe I can in real life. Like, there's an appeal to that. But I'm not saying that the typical Gary Stu or Mary Sue has no appeal. No, there is an appeal to indulging your power fantasy. Like, I just want to wreck shit, feel so OP, break reality.
Right.
Like, sometimes you just gotta like forget about reality and see what is truly possible if you were just all powerful, omnipotent, all knowing, whatnot. There's an appeal to that. But I think recently that characters that have been main characters have had a more relatable trait. And I have to agree with you. You use Tales of Arise as an example, and I will agree with how just about every character, because in Tales games in particular, although there's one particular character that is the main character, I think for Tales of Arise, every party member felt like they were a main character. But like, I mean, of course, the focus is still on Alphen and Shion, but the amount of depth and writing they gave to your other party members, they felt like really influential in the story. So I got honestly caught off guard by that, because I'm like, you're just party members. Why why do I actually give a shit?
I know.
I mean, like, no, like, this is not to sorry. This is not to like shit on games in the past, but like, I look at FF10. I'm not saying it's bad, but good lord, I love every party member. I love every party member, every guardian that's helping Yuna, but the focus was really on Tidus and Yuna. Yeah. Now, it's not like we are given snippets on the side characters, like Waka's brother. The first time he sees Tidus, he's like, whoa, you look like my brother. And then Lulu has this very sister-like relationship with Yuna. Kimari has been taking care of Yuna ever since she was a kid. Auron was the guardian of Yuna's father and friend of Tidus's father as well. So yeah, there is a lot of depth, but the amount of individual depth, I don't think it compares to the party members in Tales of Arise.
I think FF10's cast, basically, it kind of shows how everyone is either connected to either Tidus or Yuna. I love FF10. I love it so much. I love pretty much all the FF games. It's one of my favorite franchises. But yeah, I do agree with that. I do wish they had more depth, especially with Waka and Lulu, because
yeah. If there's one trait between Lulu and Waka, I wanted, like, in my head, I was like, if they, I'm not sure if you heard that desk slam, but like, if they explored this particular aspect of the two of them, it would have made for a very interesting arc. Like, do you remember that arc where Waka's and Lulu's faith in Yevon was literally just shattered because of the whole trial? Like, I wanted that to be given more focus. Like, yo, like, this is a huge deal. Because you have two extremes of the faith towards Yevon. You have Waka, who is literal blind faith to Yevon, and you have Lulu, who is realistic but still very faithful. And Yevon's just like, F you. No, you've been sacrificing summoners for nothing. And I'm just like, they can't just snap out of this reality so fast. No, like, I wanted to see more exploration of that. Like, I guess I want, like, I don't know, hypothetical. Maybe Lulu would have told Yuna, this is a fucking waste of time. You're wasting your freaking life for, like, for Yevon that literally doesn't give a crap about your life. Or Waka would be very, very apologetic to Riku and would question a lot of things. Like, there was it was lacking in that aspect. Like, there were so many parts of the story where, like, if you focused more on this, would have been so much better. But even without it doesn't make the game less than what it is, but it would have made it better, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Also, like, my thing with Waka and Lulu is I kind of wish that their I guess relationship was talked about more, because in 10-2 they just randomly end up married with a kid, and I'm all like, okay. Alright, I mean, like, I guess they were getting along, but I didn't think they were getting along that much. Like
in before Fire Emblem fans chime in, that's exactly how marriage works.
No,
that's how marriage works. That's how marriage works. You fight alongside someone, and then the next time they give you an engagement ring.
Wow.
I swear to God, one of the funniest jokes ever, like Fire Emblem Awakening. It's literally like, oh my God, Olivia, I love you so much. Oh my God, Frederick, I love you too. We've killed a total of how many people? 500. Oh yeah, we've killed a total of 500 people together. Will you marry me?
Oh my God. Nope.
Have you been getting along? A child walks up. Actually, that is so accurate. And that's so accurate. Like, like,
I hate it.
Like, kills bandit. I'll protect you. Kill second bandit. Will you marry me? What?
Oh my God.
Will you marry me?
A man.
Like in the Fire Emblem universe. How to pick up an SO. Step 1, kill a bandit next to them. Step 2, talk. Step 3, babies. Step 4, tactical eugenics.
Not the blush emoji, no.
Damn, the way you killed them. That's so accurate, though.
Like, wow.
Now, let's see. Back to the question. As for me, preferences when it comes to the main characters. If we are talking on the more meta side of characters, I have to agree with Celio here. I want a character I can relate with. Because it makes what happens to them a lot more impactful. Like, if I can relate to a character's problems, their triumphs, I can feel it as I play as well. And that's something I really like. Like, when... Like, I guess we're using Tales of Arise as an example a lot these days. Like, not necessarily the main character, but like Kisara's whole journey of like coming to peace with her brother's death, accepting the whole truth behind Dohalim being the quote-unquote mom of the party. I'm just like, she really just wants to, how do I say this? She wants to strengthen a bond between what's practically a party of misfits that have practically no chemistry with each other. And I don't know, as a person, I also like doing that. Like, I like making friends, and not just making friends. I want to cultivate like what friendships I already have and make it better, because this is something that I treasure a lot. And I guess Kisara wants to see what the future has in store for them, and what their bonds can, how their bonds can like help each other as a person. And I don't know, it's something I relate to a lot. But if I were to use another example for this, I would say the protagonist of Ghost of Tsushima, Jin Sakai. He is a person who has been raised to honor the samurai code, and he's against the Mongol army that doesn't give a crap about the samurai code. like honorable fighting, honorable tactics. No, like they don't give a crap about that. They'll just straight up throw oil on their opponents then set them ablaze. No anime duels or whatever. No, they're just all about, we're here to win, we're here to conquer, screw your morals and ethics. It's freaking war. And Jin Sakai was like, this sucks, but I have to do what it takes to protect my home. And his uncle, in a very stereotypical Asian way, is like, no, you honor the code, because you know, this is what our family and our culture and our history has upheld for years. And there's one particular line that I really want a lot of people to, well, not see, but it practically embodies just about every struggle of any Asian millennial right now. Wow, I just went there really fast, but it's just something I relate with because, like, the uncle of Jin Sakai was basically like, you have forgotten what honor means, blah, blah, you've lost your honor, blah, blah, blah. And Jin Sakai just straight up says, and you're a prisoner to it. And I'm just like, whoa, that is so relatable. Now, I'm not speaking for all millennials out there, but I'm pretty sure a handful or a huge number of millennials think that the generation before is so conservative to a fault that they just don't know how to break out of very old ways of thinking or even methods of doing things. Like the very typical man, is the internet really that bad in hell?
I don't know. I got great internet. Ooh. Ooh. Spooky.
Truly spooky. You're materialized.
I'm evolving. My metamorphosis.
It should fix itself in a bit. Hopefully.
Melting.
Oh my god, you're just a bunch of colors, like, oh my god.
I'm turning into digital pasta.
Oh, what happens if I turn you off and turn you back on? Oh my god, it's the same thing. Is it the same on your OBS Ninja right now?
No. No. I'm turning into oatmeal. No. No. I don't want to turn into oatmeal.
Wait, let me open your OBS Ninja real quick.
Help.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
Oh, there we go. It's fixed. Hilarious. You were casting some demon spell of some sort.
Oh no! I'm being censored. I'm not even on my own show, and I'm being censored by the directors still.
I'd give you a head pat right now if I could.
I'm going on strike.
Give this adorable sheep a head pat.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, like Jin Sakai is fighting both a Mongol army and literal like family tradition, and it's something he doesn't like embrace fully. Like he hates the fact that he has to fight what is practically been ingrained in him as a kid, which is honor, tradition, respect, blah blah blah. Because, I mean, if you think about it, would you really, like, just a hypothetical and crude way to think about it, if Tsushima was conquered by the Mongol army, do you really think it's gonna please anyone? Ooh, at least we upheld our morals. Bruh, you let them take a freaking island because a samurai honor and tradition? Like, really? Fucking stupid. Fucking stupid. Stupid. There are things that you have to do to end a conflict that can risk lots of lives, hell, even a country or your sovereign. So, I mean, ask the dead. Is it honorable? the silence is your answer. They can't talk shit. Anyhow. Okay. Alright, number three question. What tropes do you like and not like in characters?
Wow. I'm like really, really cheesy. And I mean, you all saw me screaming about this during my Tales stream, but I'm like a huge sucker for romance in video games.
Same.
And I'm like so cheesy like that. Oh my gosh, I was like screaming the whole time whenever Alfred and Shion were being so cute to each other. I love that shit. Oh my god, I love it.
Same, hard same.
I love like romance that develops organically throughout a story, like just seeing two characters like interact and like slowly fall in love and stuff, and I'm like, it makes my heart grow 5 billion times bigger whenever I see stuff like that. It's just so cute and wholesome, and it just makes me root for them even harder, honestly. Oh my god, I'm not even like that big into like shipping and all that stuff. It's just so wholesome. Like, I'm like, get married right now.
Yeah, the depiction of relationship between characters in a lot of games is very endearing and adorable.
Yeah, I love it when it feels like natural. Like, I can't stand forced romances, like stuff that just is thrown out of nowhere because I'm like, ew, really? Get out of here. I hate that. That makes me mad. But anything that's like,
you want to give examples of that?
Let's see. What's a good one? I feel like I know a billion, but like I can't think of one off the top of my head right now. But
that's a very common problem. Like, I know
yeah,
a
like,
lot of video games. I'm like, wait, what
ever
games?
since Sonic and Amy.
Sonic and Amy?
Get out of here!
Oh my god.
I mean, you're right, but get out of here! Get out of here. Okay, but no, but like in Sonic X at the end when they were in randomly were like, oh, we're in love now, and I was like, huh? And I'm like, that's not true, Your Honor.
Nah.
Your
Press
Honor,
X to doubt.
I'm like, that's a lie. But believe.
That's a freaking lie.
I think Rouge and Knuckles' relationship was more organic than Sonic and Amy's, because at least they like hated each other at first, and then they were like, haha, ooh, you wanna kiss me so bad. Yeah, facts. Yeah,
Facts.
true. I love Sonic.
True.
But yeah, that's one trope I really like. I like characters learning from their mistakes. Like, in my favorite game, the main character, well, quote unquote main character. She's not the main character, but she's the main character.
Go ahead.
I was about to say, my favorite game is Final Fantasy 12.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I've actually not talked about this as a VTuber at all. I'm really surprised I haven't mentioned it, but anyone who knows me IRL, basically everyone who knows me IRL, knows that my favorite game of all time is Final Fantasy 12. I basically own it on like every platform it's ever come out on. Like, I had it on the PS2, I have it on the Switch, I had it on the PS4. I'm considering buying it on Steam.
Why not?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, why not? I should stream it. I've already beaten it like 15 times. I should stream it. And I'm rambling, but
Go ahead.
yeah, so
I ramble
Ash.
too.
Yeah, so Ash, she's basically the main character of Final Fantasy 12. Vaughn, he's kind of like a self-insert, sort of. Like, he has a personality, but like it's not really his story.
Yeah,
it's Ash's story, because it's about her, and it's about her fight for her kingdom. And you know, when the game starts, you know, she's kind of basically only thinking about herself and how she wants revenge for, you know, Damaska, and she wants to, you know, destroy the empire. And, you know, as the story develops, she, you know, slowly learns that, you know, maybe revenge isn't like the best idea, because, you know, if you're just consumed by revenge and that's all you think about, you're basically just the same as the empire. And everyone kind of teaches her that, and then she like realizes it at like a really critical part of the story when, you know, like the gods are like trying to use her as like this pawn to like kill the empire, and she's like, you know what, no, I don't want to do this, because I realize that like revenge probably isn't good, and I don't want to end up, and I'm turning into oatmeal again. But I just got really excited, and then they turned me into oatmeal.
There, you calm down.
Yeah, Oh, there we go. But yeah, I like when characters learn from like their flaws, or they develop like or like they learn through their party that like maybe like something that they thought was okay maybe isn't okay, and that, you know, maybe they don't believe it at first, like, oh, you're wrong, this is how I do my thing and I don't care what you say. But, you know, they get to a point on the story where, you know, they realize that, hey, maybe I should listen to these people, and maybe they are my friends and stuff, you know. I guess this is also tying into relationships, because when you value the people around you and you start to respect their opinions and you listen to them. I think that's really like powerful in a lot of stories. It shows that the main character has like developed as a person and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
FF12.
FF12. Let's see. Okay. Interesting. Now for tropes that I like and do not like. Okay, let's start with the tropes I do like. I like characters that have realistic flaws. And like what I mean by realistic flaws, these are traits that you'd find in human beings. Like a main character is so naive, a main character who's out of touch with what's going on, a main character that who has an ambition that's out of this world, but reality just slaps them with the reality card, like, we're gonna have to ground you down a peg, buddy. Because, like, it's not like I want characters to suffer, hell no. Maybe a little, maybe the ones I hate, but but like there is a certain charm to it, because like I would rather see I don't know, it's just a personal preference, but there is something more appealing or charming about a character that is almost bad to a fault and then slowly achieves like goodness. He changes for the better, rather than seeing someone who's like great, he or she's like the paragon of characters, like has just about any trait you want in a main character, and them just existing makes the whole video game world bow to their wills and actions. Like, no, like people who are too good are sus unless you're well, I mean, to be fair, yeah.
There are Fire Emblem players around me.
Totally. Excuse me, you're talking to someone who has like 3,000 hours in Fire Emblem Awakening alone.
There are Fire Emblem players in my area. Hot, sexy Fire Emblem players in my area? What the?
Well, I'm pretty sure we smell better than Smash players.
True.
Okay, there you go.
That smells great.
There you go. But yeah, like that's one particular trait, particular trope I like in characters. The characters that are something to a fault. I smell great and I play more than me. Of course you do, Efrus. Of course you do. But yeah, characters that have a flaw to a fault, that it bites them in the ass, because it makes things very interesting. Like a person who is optimistic to a fault, you can only be so optimistic until, like, I mean, could you imagine like this optimistic character goes up to a village that was ravaged by like a group of bandits, and he goes up there, at least not all of you are dead, dude. STFU, these people just no. Your optimism doesn't apply to everything.
You can be like optimistic to the point of like denial.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no, these people can't be optimistic, because these people probably asked for help they didn't get, fought a force that fought a force that they could not hope to defeat, lost just about everything, thousands of lives, and you're telling them, at least not all of you are dead? Bruh,
Yeah,
no,
that
that's not gonna work.
That just comes off as like insensitive, I feel like.
Yeah,
like,
because like
wow,
that
thanks.
that kind of character, I feel, that kind of character who's this is just an example. That kind of character who's optimistic to a fault, that optimism goes out the window when it happens to them.
True.
Like, let's say a best friend of theirs or a family member dies, and then party member B and C is like, hey, at least you're not dead. Well, buddy, taste of your own medicine. Sucks to be optimistic, huh? But yeah, see, like, people who are something to a fault, and then the situation or circumstances of the game bites them in the ass. Like, it's just very interesting to see, because how they react, how they cope with it, it's something we can learn. Not just people who relate to the character, but even us as people when we notice people like those in real life. Like, if you meet someone who is naive to a fault, optimistic to a fault, faithful to a fault, like, you kind of see their plight in a different light in a video game, and you're like, wow, so that's what it's like to be, you know, like, especially if these people are your friends. If you have a friend who's optimistic to a fault, and then the game shows you, hey, you know, being optimistic to a fault can be really bad. Here's an example. And you, as a person, you're like, wow, I never actually thought of that. So when the next time you meet this person, like, you have a certain understanding about them, that maybe them being so optimistic to a fault is not because they are so optimistic, but maybe because they are coping with something. Like, I don't know. There's just something about that I find in video games that just, it's really awesome. Okay, now for the more Unga Bunga tropes, okay, I'm just gonna go a little gushing Unga Bunga here, okay? Unga Bunga, okay? I am a sucker for really strong female characters. Like, they don't, when I mean strong, I don't mean like buff or anything. Like, no, they can be buff. I have nothing against buff female characters, but like female characters who can like stand their own and, like, you know, face adversity in the face and like, fuck you, bitch, I'm F you up. Like, we have a woman
respecter here.
I am a huge sucker for that, because I'm just, holy shit, I need to see more of this. Because I don't know if it's just my complaint in the movie and TV series industries, but it's just a personal opinion. Might not be a fact, but if you agree with my opinion, thank you. If you disagree, that's totally fine. I respect it. We can discuss this. But my opinion is that video games tend to depict strong female characters much better than you see in films or TV shows. I don't know if it's because I'm watching the wrong ones, but I don't know. Like, movies where the hook or the marketing is like, yo, strong female character, and I'm just like, this is the most stereotypical depiction of strong female character. But I've seen stronger depictions of female characters that do not have this stereotype surrounding them. I don't know. You look at freaking Yuna from FF10, yo. Yuna from FF10 is just like, yeah, I'll follow the system, and then Epiphany, fuck the system. Straight up, F the system. And then in FF10 too, did you play FF10 too?
A little bit. I've been wanting to play it after I beat 10.
Cuff, stream it. Streaming idea, cuff. Okay.
God, I should stream more 10. I should.
But FF10 too, there is a part where Yuna just says, I don't like your plan. It sucks. I'm like, what? So off character, but also on character for Yuna to say. It's just so freaking hilarious.
It's true, because she's so honest.
She's so honest, yeah. And I don't know, this might be bordering on a bit much, but Kisara as a character in Tales of Arise can literally hold a giant shield and a mace, no problem. Can fish, can knit, can cook, a very good listener. Talking to her is practically a virtual head pat. I'm just gushing about Kitaro right now, but sorry. I love her so much as a character, and she's just so awesome.
Keep going.
Keep going. Right.
Keep going.
Whenever people ask me, like, what's my favorite character in Fire Emblem Awakening, a lot of people get caught off guard because a lot of friends IRL know that I am a hardcore Lucina fan, but Lucina's not even my most favorite character, even though she is voiced by two of my favorite VAs. Her English VA is Laura Bailey, and her Japanese VA is Yu Kobayashi. Both of them are favorite VAs of mine. But I like female Robin better. Because, I don't know, this was just my personal experience playing through Fire Emblem Awakening as female Robin and shipping her with Chrom. The whole dynamic between her and Lucina changes because... Okay, spoiler alert for those who haven't played Fire Emblem Awakening. Female Robin finds out that she is actually Grima. And I'm just like, shit. So she knows that in another timeline she killed Chrom. Lucina notices this, and there is a particular scene you will not experience unless you are female Robin shipped to Chrom. So Lucina walks up to Robin in an isolated area and offers her to, like, I'll freaking kill you. I have to kill you so that father doesn't die. Because when father died in my timeline, everything went to shit. And what sucks for Lucina is that I'm not just killing a good friend, I'm killing my own mother. And it just gets a lot more tense. And the whole dialogue, this is the attention to detail I like. The dialogue of Robin changes so that it reflects that Lucina is her daughter. I'm just like, damn, that sucks. And the thing is, you have a choice to, like, convince Lucina otherwise, or just accept Lucina's judgment. I won't spoil the outcome, but it was a very interesting thing to see. And it's just a dynamic that you won't see unless you're using female Robin shipped to Chrom. And there's several segments in Fire Emblem Awakening where I get that Chrom is the main character, but I feel like female Robin, or Robin, just Robin in particular, has way more influence than Chrom. And like, I don't know, my argument, this is my Fire Emblem nerdism kicking in. Like, basically, I'm just talking about the versatility of Robin, and Robin's growth stats are just way better than Chrom. And, like, if you ship female Robin and Chrom, you basically have a god tier Lucina, so why wouldn't you want to ship Robin and Chrom? Okay, that's enough gushing. I spent so much time just gushing about one particular character, oh my god!
I did too.
Well, your Tales of Arise stream. Whenever Kisara's on screen, you aggressively vibrate.
I was looking respectfully.
Respectfully. Okay, but let's see. Tropes I do not like in characters. Okay. Mary Sue and Gary Stu. I don't like it. I don't like my character feeling so OP. It just feels a bit. I have no connection. I have no connection. Unless the gameplay is really fun or the story is really engaging. Yeah, like Gary Stu's and Mary Sue's are just not for me. I'm not saying they're bad, but it's just not for me. I mean, if I were to take this into a real life argument, it's kind of like that argument of like mint chocolate or pineapples on pizza. People will generally say, ugh, mint chocolate? That's what, toothpaste? Ugh, pineapples on pizza? They don't belong on pizza. Like, okay, like, but I mean, some people like it, so let them like what they like. Let people hate what they hate. I'm not telling people who hate pineapples on pizza to not hate it. No, you're free to hate what you want, but do realize there are people who love it, and you know, just let them love it. You don't really see true Mary Sue characters outside of fanfic, though. Yeah, that is very true. but there, man, I need to bring out a really good example of a Mary Sue. Man, that's a conundrum. Like, I've generally stayed away from characters that have this Mary Sue vibe that I almost discard them from my memory. I can't remember any particular Mary Sue that I remember because for me they're just so forgettable. But it's just a me thing, I guess. It's not objectively bad in my opinion. But yeah, that's the one trope I do not particularly like. Okay, next question. So, Celio, would you rather have a pre-made determined main character or a character you can fully customize or create at the start?
I think it depends on the type of game I'm playing. Like, I think personally I prefer pre-made characters because I treat RPGs and stuff like actual stories. And when I'm playing through the cutscenes, I like to make it feel like I'm almost reading a book in a sense. So I like to have the characters kind of already there and having their own stories and stuff. So it makes me feel like I'm kind of reading a book in a sense. But if I'm playing like an MMO or something where the main character is like you basically, then yeah, I would want like that total customization because it's like, well, it's me anyway, I might as well make it, you know, as true to me as possible. So yeah, I think it's kind of like a situational thing.
Okay, it's fair. But I mean, like, I'm just using Fire Emblem as an example because it's the most common example I can use. Like, there are so many titles where the protagonist is pre-made. You have people like Marth, Ike, they're pre-made, they're determined. Then you have characters like Robin, Corrin, Byleth. These are characters you make from the start. So I'm just like, damn, there is an appeal to each. So yeah, I can understand it's very difficult. But personally, I would like the opportunity to create a character if they can execute it right. Now I'll just give a hypothetical. Like, take Cloud from Final Fantasy VII for example. He's very iconic. Like, practically his image to the community is set in stone. Cloud Strife is this blonde dude with sublime spiky hair. Like, what kind of hair gel does he use? A really big sword that he can somehow carry effortlessly, seemingly. And yeah, so like, just the idea of being able to fully customize him or create Cloud from the get-go, it's very difficult to even imagine, but I can't help but wonder, what would it be like if you could? And would it even still have any impact as it would compared to predetermined, you know, pre-made determined Cloud Strife? I mean, it's not the best example, but as a hypothetical, like, it does sort of show how much of an impact a pre-made or predetermined character has, because I guess the experience of the story and the game is a lot smoother or more seamless that way. Because you avoid any awkward or jarring moments where it doesn't jive with the sort of persona that you have made, the one that you had in mind. Like, I don't know. I mean, even for persona characters, just about every persona character, the only thing you could customize is their name. But, you know, Joker, Narukami-yu, Door... the Persona 3 Door character, yeah, they're pre-made. But I don't know, I played a lot of characters where I can create, fully customize. It's an idea I like to think about. But if I were to give an example of a game that executed this really well, I would say Mass Effect. Like, Commander Shepard in Mass Effect is very iconic, not because of what they look like, but because of who they are. Like, even if you use the default appearance of male Shep and fem Shep, people still know who they are, but I feel that people remember Commander Shepard. I mean, they don't even say fem Shep or male Shep. They just call it Commander Shepard. And in my opinion, it's not just because most characters address him or her as Commander Shepard, but as a character, you remember Commander Shepard through their actions, their decisions, and very iconic lines and whatnot. So yeah, but you compare Commander Shepard, what? Bleh. Words. You compare Commander Shepard to someone like Tidus, I guess. Like, you cannot take the image of Tidus and separate it from his character. And yeah, Shika does have a point. Shepard was intended to be a self-insert. Well, I'm not entirely sure if the intent of BioWare was to, like, you are Commander Shepard, but I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. They probably mentioned it in an interview somewhere, but I don't know. It's just my personal take on it. Have you played Mass Effect before, Celio?
No, I have not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, that's totally fine. It's actually pretty cool meeting someone that hasn't played Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Don't play Mass Effect Andromeda. No.
Yeah.
Chico, and I'll answer your question later during the Q&A segment. I'll get back to that. Okay. We have 2 more questions in the first part. So, would you prefer your character being voiced or not voiced?
I like voiced, but mostly because I listen to games in like Japanese dubs a lot, and I really like seiyus a lot. So like I always like to find, if my favorite seiyus are like in games that I play, and then I get really excited. And also I feel like really good voice acting can carry a story like so hard. I'm gonna use FF12 as an example again because I can't shut up about that game. I think FF12 has probably some of the best English voice acting in like video games ever of all time, and that's because a lot of the voice actors were trained theater actors. So when they were doing their voice lines, they basically were acting like it was a stage play, and a lot of the dialogue in 12, it really makes you feel like you're watching a movie or like watching a play. It's that good. And I think that I feel like I don't see a whole lot of quality voice acting like that much anymore. Like, yeah, there's good voice acting in some games, but I just think like they really took it to like a next level with that game, and they really just created this like theatrical experience with 12 that I just have not seen in a lot of other games that I've played, and I kind of miss it. I wish they had more. Like, they should hire more like stage actors, maybe not like celebrity actors, but like theater actors who do like plays and stuff, because I feel like video games, the scripts feel more like plays than movies. So I think having like musical actors and stuff do things for video games would be really like a really neat thing that they should do more of.
If there's one dynamic pair I remember from FF12, whenever they were on screen, I'm just like, I want more of this banter. I want more talking from these two. You want to take a guess who it is? The fact I said
he's gotta be Balthier and Fran.
Yeah, there you go.
Whenever they
were just talking to each other, I'm just like, this shit's hilarious, adorable, and awesome. I want more of this shit.
Yes, it was so good. Another thing I really liked about the voice acting in 12 is that every region that you went to, they all had different accents. Like, know how like like I'm gonna list 14 as an example because this annoys me a lot really badly about 14.
They're all
but
British.
why is everyone in 14 British? Like, I shouldn't go I shouldn't have to go to Hingashi and everyone is still British. I shouldn't have to go to Alamigo and everyone is British. I shouldn't go to the first, which is like basically another dimension, and everyone is still British. Why is everyone British in that game? It's aggravating. Like the only people that I can think of that aren't British. Wait, are the VR Brit? I stopped playing in
the fairies are Scottish.
Yeah,
the fairies are Scottish, Gaelic.
Yeah. I stopped playing English dubs for 14 after like Heaven's Word, I think.
Sad. If you watch Pyromancer on Twitch, he does French accents when he's in Heaven's Word. It's hilarious.
But yeah,
but yeah, I'm just like that is one thing that does jar me about FF14's voice design. I'm not saying the individual performances are bad. No, like the performances of the individual like main characters and main supporting characters, they're all really good. But if you just think about the situation they're in, like I can understand Crystal Exarch still being British in first. And to be fair, there are some people in the first that have not British accents, but like 7 out of 10 of them have British accents. I'm like, what the F?
Literally, like I just don't understand. And then I when I heard the trailer for 16, I was like, when they announced 16, when they were like doing the trailer, I was like, let me watch. Okay, Yoshi P's doing this. Okay, watch. It's a hype. Watch. Everybody's gonna be British. And what happened?
British.
Everyone's around like, oh my god, stop it.
I would have appreciated it more like if we went to the Stormblood area and everyone spoke with a Japanese accent, even if it was English. I wouldn't have minded at all. I wouldn't be like, it's Asia, so Asian accent on English. Oh my god, you're so no, shut up. It's not racist.
I think it would have been more authentic. I think it would have been more.
It would have been more authentic. Like, come on.
Yeah,
you don't go to Japan and expect everyone there who can't speak English like speak perfect English. It's not something you can realistically expect. I'm not saying no Japanese person out there can speak perfect English like it's their native language, but you can't expect everyone to speak that way. I mean, yeah, I don't mean anything malicious about it, but that's just really how it is. And it's quite ironic because people love to make fun of it, but when it's depicted in a video game or any form of entertainment, suddenly it's wrong.
Yeah.
I don't get it, you freaking hypocrites. Like, ugh, come on. Like, I don't know if that was the decision. I don't know if that was the reason why they made that decision regarding like the casting of the voices. But I can overlook it because I mean, they're just NPCs, and to be honest, I do the same thing as you do. I do play the game in Japanese dub.
Yeah.
I do play the game in Japanese dub, so they all sound Japanese.
Yeah. So true.
Alright, last question for the first part. Oh wait, no wait, I forgot to answer this question. So would I prefer characters being voiced or not voiced? With today's industry standards, I would definitely prefer characters being voiced. I mean, back then, I caught the really good voice actors back then were iconic. Were really like big name voice actors and voice actresses. Because back then, the focus was more on video game graphics, video game performance, playability. A lot of it was just the core video game. The voice acting was not given that much focus. But then you have people like David Hayter as Solid Snake, Jennifer Hale and Laura Bailey. God knows how many performances they have in video games. There's so many. Then you have Michael Ironside as Michael Ironside, the actor. Michael Ironside voiced Sam Fisher. In my opinion, no one can voice Sam Fisher but Michael Ironside. And for example, quick question, Celio. Did you play Resident Evil 2 Remake before?
I didn't. I need to play more Resident Evil games. I think the last Resident Evil game I remember playing was like 4 on the GameCube. That was a while ago.
Oh. I never got to play Splinter Cell 3. I have 1 and 2. That's totally fine. But if Ruse, even you know how good Sam Fisher, his performance as Sam Fisher was really good.
There I go.
Welcome to the episode, Mariva. Nice. Okay.
Yes, hi.
And like Claire Redfield. I'm gonna talk about Claire Redfield real quick. Not to say that RE2 remake Claire Redfield was bad, no. But like Alison Court as Claire Redfield is just so iconic. I cannot picture anyone voicing Claire Redfield other than Alison Court. But to give credit to the current voice actress of Claire, she did a really good job. But there's just there's just something different about it. But again, voice acting industry standards have definitely risen recently. Like the whole argument of dub versus sub, such an age-old question, but nowadays I would even prefer dub over sub in some games. I would admit, in some games I prefer dub over sub. Like, just to give an example, okay, just to give a very minor example where voice acting isn't particularly that big a deal. But Celio, you play Genshin Impact, right?
Reluctantly, yes.
Reluctantly, yes. Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. So here's the thing. There is a particular enemy in Genshin Impact that I hate with a fiery passion because their Japanese voice is just so annoying. And I am talking about the Electro Fatway mages. They're just so annoyingly high pitched. Like it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's so freaking annoying. Why? And then I switch over to the English dub. I'm like, this is so much better. This is so much better. What the heck? But again, that's just one outlying example. But there's several games out there as well where I prefer the English dub over the Japanese dub. And in my opinion, it's a good thing because like it's no longer tried and true that, you know, subs better than dubs. Like, no. There are some anime movies and TV shows recently that have really good dubs. Like, for example, I did watch both the sub and dub version of Violet Evergarden. I'd applaud both. Both were really good. So, in general, definitely because of today's industry standards, I want my character to be voiced. I want my main character to be voiced. Because, I don't know, there are certain moments that are better when voiced rather than if it was not voiced or your internal voice. FMA Brotherhood is better dubbed. I'll think about that, but I mean, FMA in general had a really good dub and sub, so I'll just stick with that. Okay. Last question of the first part. What are features you think that are missing in some games where the characters are one of the main attractions?
I'm gonna let you answer this one first.
Okay.
I have to think about this one.
Sure. So, I'll repeat the question. What are features you think are missing in some games where the characters are one of the main attractions? Okay. This is just coming from a person who has played Fire Emblem a lot. But in my opinion, something like the support system in Fire Emblem, I feel, doesn't have to be implemented like carbon copy. No, but to some extent, something similar should be, not should be, like could have been implemented. It would have been better. Like, I don't know. Dating elements. Actually, I was
so right. You're right.
I was thinking something similar too, Mariva. Like,
Get louder.
Like, Tales of Arise, for example. I would have. I mean, if they did implement the support system of Fire Emblem to some extent whenever you camp out and you have unique conversations between party members, but that's only with Alphen and the other party members. I want other party members to have support conversations with other party members. Like, I want to see what, I don't know, a B-rank conversation between Kisara and Shion. I want to see what that's like. Or Dohalim and Rinwell.
The bad guy in Guilty Gear. I should be able to. I should.
That was definitely a fun thing to experience with Three Houses. Yes. Amen, Efruz. Yes. Like, the support system in Fire Emblem is just so good because it gives you very in-depth stuff about each character. And you learn about them too. Like, minor spoiler alert, in Fire Emblem Fates, you learn that Saizo and Belka were both assassins for practically the same job, I think. A very similar job. So you don't really learn that because it's not the main focus of the story. But the fact that they realized that, wait, you were supposed to... you were supposed to kill this person? Oh my god, right. I killed this person. Wait, this person was my boss. Like, like it adds that little bit of dynamism between those two characters. And I wanted to see that in a lot of games where characters are the focus, you know? I mean, FF10 didn't implement it directly, but it does have the character affinity system where if you pick certain dialogues or use items on characters, you build relationship points with them. So in some elements of the game, for example, for Tidus, in the part where he uses the snowmobile, depending on which affinity he's highest with, he'll ride with either Kimari, Riku, or Lulu? Perhaps even Auron. And, I mean, Lulu is my black mage, and I only found out recently that she was voiced by... Hang on. Let me just make sure that it wasn't just a fever pitch dream when I saw it, when I did some research. Oh yeah, the English voice actor of Lulu, Paula Tiso, she also voiced... Of course she voiced Camilla from Fire Emblem Fates. That's... Oh my god. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. Big booba black mage. Big booba dragon rider. Yeah, totally.
It just makes sense.
It just makes sense. But it's just so hilarious because you get this interaction between the two of them, and I don't know.
Mommy?
It's nice. It's mommy? Nice. It's nice seeing that exchange between Tidus and Lulu, and I wanted to see more of that between the other characters because these characters are stuck with each other for God knows how many hours in the game in a story that affects them directly. So I'm like, you're telling me that none of them are going to take the time they take camping to talk about what they think about what's happening? Come on. And Fire Emblem does that really well. Alright. How about you, Celia?
Okay, so yeah, Mariva brought that up, and now I'm all like, no, you're right though. There should be dating elements in fighting games. But I just like affection systems in general. I think they're cute, and it kind of makes you more incentivized to know the character a little bit. Like Okay, this is gonna be kind of a spoiler for F. F, close your ears. Don't look. So remember in Shadowbringers when you had that little like mini dating sim thingy with Chai Nuz or whatever his name was, the catboy dude. I loved that. That was so good. Where you could like motivate him to like help you like with the Talos thingy. That was so good. I really hope we have more of that in Endwalker because that was like a fresh new thing that they did. And I was like, yo, actual dating sim in 14? Is this what we're alluding to? Like, am I gonna be able to date people now? Like,
I'm pretty sure people would lose their shit and immediately, you know, the FF14 census website where they keep track of data, like how many people in the game are Viera, male Mikote, female Mikote, etc., etc. I'm pretty sure they'll update that to include how many people have dated this NPC. I'm pretty sure Yashtola is gonna be like way up there.
oh my gosh, it's gonna be like Yashtola, Grahatia, maybe Emmett Selk probably.
Emmett Selk for sure, Emmett Selk. And interesting because we're gonna tackle this question later regarding Emmett Selk. But yeah, dating elements, it's
just fun.
That's
or just
fun.
like any type of it doesn't even have to be like a dating. It could be like an affection up system because I know I haven't played it, but I know Hades has a thing like an affection system where like if you raise their affection to a certain level, you get like a character specific item that like helps you like a power up or whatever. That's pretty fun too. Like you can like raise their affection up to max and you get like a item that like represents that character that can give you like a buff in the game. Yeah, I really like that.
Mariva mentioned also the affection system FF7 remake. That is actually very accurate. It does play a role in some parts of the story because, for example, if you simp really hard for Tifa that whole game, she is the first party member that joins you for the last battle. She is the one you meet outside Aerith's house during one segment. So yeah, that's just one minor thing about the affection system. But yeah, that's something I'd like to see also in other games. Like an affection system at least. You get a special cutscene, yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
And if you don't simp for either of them, you can get Barret. Yep, totally. Also, Mariva, agree or disagree, Barret is a lot hotter without the glasses on. You can tell me later. Alright, so that's part 1 of the talk. We are now in the trivia Q&A section. So we had a fair amount of questions, so I'm gonna go back and check those first. Okay. I like how so fast into the talk we suddenly got into talking about Sonic. I'm like, I didn't see this one coming. I didn't picture me talking about Sonic.
Look, if Efruz is somewhere in this chat, we're gonna talk about Sonic, okay? Sonic, the CEO of Sonic right there.
Alright, so Shika asked comparisons between Sora and Roxas. Here's the problem, Shika. I am not familiar about KH lore, so I cannot respectfully answer that question.
Got you! I got you!
I want to answer that, but I do not have a firm grasp on the lore that I don't want to say anything wrong. So I'm not gonna answer that question. But can you for me, Celio?
Can I play Kingdom Hearts? I'm a Kingdom Hearts enjoyer, derogatory.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so no, they're not the same person. Yes, they did come from the same, like, okay, actually this is gonna sound really bosh because the more you think about Kingdom Hearts lore, the more stupid it sounds coming out of your mouth. So yeah, this is gonna sound really dumb, but I swear it's right. Oh, I'm turning into oatmeal again. Okay, so like Roxas and Sora, they are like, they're, okay, so like, no, they're not the same person, but, Roxas is Sora's nobody. And Roxas was made out of like what is it? His heart or what? No. Sora became a Heartless in Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah.
His nobody formed in Kingdom Hearts 2, and the nobody that became Roxas, and you know they gave him the X and they made him part of Organization 13. But Roxas, he has his own personality. I would say that Roxas, I kind of like Roxas a little more than Sora because I feel like he's a little bit more like less happy-go-lucky. I guess he's more like grounded in reality. I feel like because of like the circumstances of him like being like in Organization 13 and like the circumstances of like how his life was and stuff, and then realizing that Twilight Town was like a lie. It was like the Matrix basically. Only similarity is that they came from the same source, because I mean Roxas came from Sora, but yeah, they're not really the same person. I don't think they're the same person. I mean, not only do they not really look the same, at least I don't think they do. They don't sound the same. They don't act the same. Roxas can wield 2 Keyblades. Sora can only wield 2 Keyblades in his limit break form. So suck on that. Yeah, it does sound stupid. I was telling bro, were we talking about Kingdom Hearts last night, F? I was like, cause you were like, oh yeah, I kinda wanna play Kingdom Hearts, and I was like, yeah, you can play Kingdom Hearts, just don't think about the plot, just play the game, just don't start paying attention to the plot, because if you start paying attention to the plot of Kingdom Hearts, you're gonna get really mad, because the plot makes no sense.
You're gonna get lost just like Stelio's model right now on the OBS Ninja. Yeah.
My model is a representation of the Kingdom Hearts lore.
My god. Alright, hang on. Next question. Did you play Blitzball a lot in FF10? Oh, hell yeah. I'm pretty sure Sin was like, where the hell is this Yuna summoner? Should have been here like hours ago. Yuna in the background is just like, Tidus, when are we going to fight Sin? Tidus is just like, I gotta win the cup again. Blitzball was hella fun.
My god, yeah, true. Like when I had first played and I didn't care about Blitzball, I skipped it, but like when I was playing it on stream a couple months ago, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna actually attempt Blitzball. Like, I'm gonna pay attention to the rules and I'm gonna try this game. And then when I was like really getting into it, I was like getting pissed because I was losing. I was like, get the ball! What are you doing out there? Come on! I felt like a coach of like a soccer team. I was like, wait, why am I actually getting into this? Mariva's got the lore. She knows.
You do know that Blitzball was one of the most requested new features they had in F14, right?
Yes. People want to add it to like the gold saucer. I personally think it should be a PvP thing. I don't know how it would work as like gold saucer, but I do think it would make a really cool PvP. You can get like pre-made teams or whatever, and I don't know how they would implement that into 14. But yeah, making it like
I'm pretty sure we can trust Yoshi P in the implementation. He's gonna do a proper job doing it.
He's gonna make it happen. He'll do what he has to do.
Alright. Let's see. Okay, we have some questions from the Shrine Talk discussion thread. And the first one comes from Soli, who I will explicitly shout out right now. Okay, let me bring up the text. Viewer asks, Soli_channel asks, why is Emmett Selk so sexy?
He's just a little rat and people love that. You can have a little rat energy from time to time. But like, okay, like unironic answer, I think people like him so much because of his like tragic backstory or whatever. Oh, this is spoilers again. Close your ears. This is he just has a really like compelling backstory. When you're playing through Shadowbringers, yeah, when you're playing through Shadowbringers, guess the narrative kind of makes you question like whether what you're doing is right, and then when you get to the final dungeon, you know, Amarat, and he's like simulating the final days and stuff, and he's going with you about what happened during that time, and he kind of makes you question like, should I be doing this? Is, you know, bringing like the darkness back to the first like a good idea? Like, should maybe like bringing like the Amarat teens or whatever, like the Asians, like maybe the Asians are right all along, you know, you start to like sympathize with them and stuff. And I do think that's why like Emmett Selk is like such a compelling character, because he makes you feel like, you know, maybe your intentions aren't as good as you think they are as, you know, the Warrior of Light or slash Darkness and Shadowbringers. And I think that's why people like him so much, because like he makes you like, I guess, subvert your expectations. He makes you think like something that's different than what you usually do, because usually you're like, yeah, I'm the good guy, I go do the thing, I fight the bad guy, I win. But Emmett Selk's like, hey, what if you're not the good guy? What if I'm the good guy? And then, you know,
like,
you're like,
Emmett Selk challenges, like, you've been looking at just about every conflict you've been at as a warrior flight. Have you ever tried thinking about it from a local's perspective? So, regarding the whole tragedy of Amarat, he's basically like, I'm not going to force you to accept my beliefs, but you're looking at the tragedy from the warrior flight's perspective. Have you tried looking at it from an Amarosian's perspective? And then, of course, I'm not gonna spoil it, but at the end of the dungeon, something happens to warrior flight, and it just throws the gates wide open, because a lot of people are like, wait a minute, does that mean that this and that redacted, we are I'm like, oh my god, like that just that dungeon was so influential to the story at the end of it, especially.
oh my gosh, I actually teared up the first time I went through it, like blind. My first time playing Shadowbringers, that dungeon like low-key made me almost cry, because I was like actually like feeling like what happened to the characters, and like really like it resonated with me so hard that it like almost brought me to tears. Like, it's such a good story. Like, not a whole lot of video games can bring me to tears. So like, if it does that, that's how I know it's like a really like thought-provoking, like compelling story. And I can't wait for that for Endwalker. I hope Endwalker makes me cry, like in a good way. Like, I'll cry.
Here's the thing. It's technically not spoiler, because this is coming straight from the voice actor of Thancred, but the Japanese voice actor of Thancred did tweet out, like he said, I'm looking at the script, I think I'm gonna need a new job, and people were panicking. Well, what's this mean? What does this mean?
Whoa.
What's happening? Hello? No. And again, Yoshi P did tease in one of the letters from the live letters. He's like, Endwalker is going to be about a farewell to the characters we have loved. What do you mean by that? What do you mean?
Yeah, he did say that.
He did say that, and people were panicking. I was panicking. But a lot of my friends were like, yo, Yoko, what does it mean? I'm like, I don't know. I have no clue.
Everyone say goodbye to your Shola.
But
bye to your waifu.
Side note though, I do look forward to what the female as my friend calls it, Frothgar. I can't wait to see what. Yeah, I am excited to see what the Frothgars would look like. Like, I know they are called Ronso in the first, but they do not look like the Ronso from FF10, and that's totally fine. But I am intrigued as to how the Frothgars would look like. I look forward to that. We don't know exactly when they will add them, but it's not going to be on the same day that they add Male Viera, which is going to be on release. So I'm thinking.
They were adding them in I thought they were adding them in 7.0.
They did not say when exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, they just said in the near future. So optimistically and hopefully, maybe in one of the patches of Endwalker. But we don't know how deep they are in development cycle as to what they're focusing on right now. So if the Frothgars are on the top of their list, then we can maybe expect it 6.2-ish, maybe? Maybe 6.2. That would be really awesome. But I trust Yoshi P. I trust that man's work. He's gonna do it justice. Okay. Next question is from Chaos. Let me type this. Chaos asks, why Lady Dimitrescu so hot? Okay, that's verbatim. Okay, that is verbatim. So Chaos asks, why Lady Dimitrescu so hot? Have you played Resident Evil Village? Celio?
No, but I know you don't have to play it to know that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, everyone is.
Here's the thing. Resident Evil Village, or as one of my close RE fan friends love to call it, Ethan Torture Simulator. I guess again the reason why the internet was simping so hard for Lady Dimitrescu was she's big. She's big. And she has that very Ara voice vibes, I swear.
She big, very big.
And big. And of course in one of the trailers where straight up like her ass is just staring you through the window, and I'm just like, Capcom knows what the fans want. My god. And I really like how they were tasteful with the reception, because a lot of fans were really simping so hard for Lady Dimitrescu, and they were like, we are overwhelmed and we appreciate the support and appreciation that Lady Dimitrescu is getting. And popular request, you guys asked how tall she is. Here's her height. And immediately there were videos.
She's like 9 feet something, right? Like 9'10" or something.
Yeah, 9'6". 9'7".
Wow,
So yeah, people were like, so if a 9'7" woman were to step on you, would it kill you? Like, that was one of the videos that went into full analysis mode. I was laughing my ass off because I'm just like, that is hilarious. They like okay, if we take her height and then her BMI into account, maybe she probably weighs this much, and then with her foot having this amount of pressure on your chest, I'm just like, yo, this is some really cool science stuff just for kinks, but okay. Okay.
I think in my experience, a lot of my friends liked her because she had a lot of, I guess, unconventional things that you don't see on a lot of video game women. Like a lot of my friends were jazzed at the fact that she had stretch marks on her boobs. They were zooming in on her stretch marks, and they were like and the fact that she's kind of chunkier or more heavy set than your average video game. A lot of I guess my friends in that case really like that, because you don't really see a whole lot of that in video game ladies. Usually they're perfect.
I did not zoom in on the
she has wrinkles too. People were
she has
actual
aging marks.
MILF. She's an actual MILF. And people were jazzed at the fact of that.
Honestly, I did not zoom in on the booba, but the times when the booba was just here, I put booba on screen. I'm like, okay, I guess I have to look at this. I'm like, wait, are those stretch marks on the boobs? Wow, that's realistic, I guess. And then whenever her face is just staring down at Ethan, I'm just like, whoa, those are wrinkles. That's pretty cool. I'm just MILF, actual MILF.
Yes.
Alright, last question from the Shrine Talk discussion. Shika asks, 0 and X. This is probably from the Mega Man series. Oh boy. Not an easy question to answer because the last Mega Man game I played was X6. But man, I never even went in depth when it came to the lore of Mega Man, because I don't know, it was just really fun going through. It was just really fun going through action-packed, fast-paced, side-scrolling platforming that was Mega Man games. So it was really fun. And in my opinion, Mega Man X4 has the has the best stage select theme in the whole series. That's just my personal opinion. You guys should give it a look. Search it on YouTube. Mega Man X4 stage select theme. It's my favorite track of the whole Mega Man X franchise. But Zero and X, Shika asks, if I were to compare the two, I don't know, Zero gives me the vibe of like a freelancing bounty hunter-ish. Like, he doesn't really play by the book. X is a very by the book kind of Reploid. Am I using the term right? I hope I'm using the term right. But yeah, like, X seems like a very by the book kind of character, almost to a fault. Well, Zero. Wow, F-Rose. I think Zero deserved to be written as an Ikemen. I mean, a lot of people do simp for Zero more so than X, so probably. I ain't judging, but I can see why that is a thing. Have you ever played Mega Man games before, Inu?
Oh my gosh. The last Mega Man game that I remember playing was on, like, I think the PlayStation, like, 1.
Oh.
If there was one on the PlayStation 1, I think. I just remember playing it at my cousin's house, and I'm pretty sure it was a Mega Man game. But yeah, I never really got into the Mega Man series like that.
That's so.
We were talking about this. I remember talking about this with F. It's kind of funny how a lot of these topics I've talked about with F before, but I remember trying to get into Mega Man once because this guy that I had a crush on in high school really liked Mega Man.
Ah, I see.
He would always play it in my English class on a Game Boy, and I thought he was so cool for that.
Lamau. Alright, that's it for the intermission. So, if you have any more questions, just leave it on the comments or in the Shrine Talk discussion text channel on Discord. If you haven't already, join it. Okay, so moving on to part 2, the final part. We have 6 questions. First question. Emmett Selk has been so well received by the FF14 community. Why do you think that is so?
Oh, we kind of covered that already, actually, but I guess I'll repeat it.
Well, I have a more specific take, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, yeah, I just think he's been well received because of, like, the way he was presented in the story. He was pretty funny, like, when he would be, like, hanging in, like, the trees and stuff or whatever, and just saying that, oh, all I do is just sleep whenever I'm not bothering you guys. Kind of, like, there was a connection with him that we didn't really have with any of the other villains prior.
Yeah.
Because we saw him so often in Shadowbringers that, like, we kind of, like, bonded to him a little bit, and then, you know, when he took off, you know, the mask of, you know, being a silly little villain guy and, like, is like, actually, I have depression. We, like, felt for him more because we had spent time with him, so it was, like, easier to, I guess, sympathize for him in a sense when, we were going through the final days with him, and then when we fought him in the final battle, and it was, like, kind of emotional or whatever, because, you know, it was almost like a reluctant win when we beat him. Like, yeah. It was just kind of like a, was this the right thing? Like, yeah, like, maybe we shouldn't have done this, you know? And I think that really resonated with a lot of people, and I think that's why he's like such a popular character even to this day. And I think he'll always be a popular character, honestly, because of that.
That freaking smile at the end got me. I bawled. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. I have no shame in admitting that. Like, yeah, I bawled at that freaking smile at the end. I'm like, son of a... Yeah, I'll freaking remember. I'll remember that we once lived 100%. But I'm just like, damn it. Now, I think the reason why Emmett Selk has been so well received by the FF14 community is because not just as an FF14 villain, but as a villain in a video game, Emmett Selk is not in direct conflict with the Warrior Flight, in my opinion. Like, if you compare more conventional villains in video games, they're mostly just because our factions are opposing, that's why. Like, the conflict is based on an intrinsic aspect. And I don't know, that just seems so simplified for me. But when it comes to the conflict between the Warrior Flight and Emmett Selk, it's more on their philosophies that are at conflict and their ideologies. And I don't know, Emmett Selk presents his plight in a more there's a word for it. In a more considerate fashion, I would say. Because like Emmett Selk is not even saying that like whenever he shuts down the opinions of the Scions that, so yeah, what, you would rather kill millions of people, blah blah blah, just so that they can be rejoined, etc., etc. And of course, like, one of the funniest replies he gave was, "But were you truly alive?" But if you think about what he said, like, you can't help but ponder on it. Like, the fact that everyone is shattered into so many fragments of themselves, like, it does make you think. It does make you think. And again, like, he knows this. You cannot even say that you're being delusional, like you're crazy. No, he knows this because he is unsundered, while everyone else is sundered. So it's literally from the outside looking at the big picture. Like, from the inside, we see everyone like living their life to the fullest, but to someone who knows the truth, it's kind of like Plato's cave, to use a metaphor. Like, the people who are inside the cave are only presented with what they think is real, and everything outside that cave to them will blind them and is painful and it's just not worth it. So for Emmett Selk, he knows what's real, and to him, it's not enough that these people are happy with the reality they're in. They want to embrace the reality that was and what is truly real. Like, this fake version of reality that everyone in FF14 is living through is, like, in Emmett Selk's vision, in his perspective, it's an insult. Not just to him, but it's an insult in everyone's being. Like, you used to be complete and you're living incomplete lives. This is unacceptable. And again, Emmett Selk, for what he is, an unsundered ASEAN, he could have stopped us several times. But I guess Emmett Selk wanted to see our conviction. Like, he wasn't planning anything in the background compared to the other unsundered, like Haha Bread and Elidibus. Emmett Selk was literally just observing, like, wow, can they really, is it enough? Can they truly do what they do with just pure conviction alone? But of course, eventually, after that segment, that one story trial, obviously, like, Emmett Selk was just like, yep, you don't got what it takes, so I gotta do it myself. So yeah, I'm just like, shit. And again, like, other video games have done this before, where the antagonist is not directly in conflict with the protagonist. I would say Hang on, let me bring up my let me bring up my library of games right now just to check real quick. Yeah. Let's see. Games where not really in direct conflict. Oh, I would say Tales of Arise, for example. Oh wait, have you finished Tales of Arise?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
for Tales of Arise, if you look at Rena, like Rena is not malicious in their intent. It's just they're doing what they think is good as an entity that is aware of its like existence. And again, like you cannot completely hate them for that fact. It's just that because of the whole epiphany that we get while we're in Lenegis about the real identity of the Danans, like, whoa, wait a minute, they're actually okay, that is scary. But again, the whole dynamic there is that, yeah, human beings suck. Human beings are the worst. They started this unnecessary conflict, etc., etc. But if you think about the whole plight, the whole struggle that Rena has, you can't help but feel sorry for it. And again, Alphen being the very anime protagonist. I want to save the world without killing anyone. Just killing them with serious medical bills, perhaps. But yeah, like, that is one... I guess that is one villain that is quite rare. A villain that is not in conflict directly or intrinsically with the protagonist, but only in ideology, and they don't, like, openly engage in conflict with the protagonist because, for whatever reason they have, I guess they just want to... They want the protagonist to understand them, and they kind of want to understand the protagonist, I guess. That's my most simple, complicated way of explaining why Emmett Silk has been so well received by the FF14 community.
Yeah.
Like, he's so compelling as a villain. He is a villain you relate to. He's a villain you can understand. And he's a villain that you don't hate from the very beginning. If anything, you're like, what is your motive here, buddy? And you know that he's an Asian, so you're like, dude, you can literally put us in serious trouble. And that one part, wait, what part of Shadowbringers is Efruz at?
He's still at the beginning. He hasn't even gotten to the first dungeon yet.
Okay. Alright, I cannot mention directly. But the favor that Emmett Suck does for you, I'm like, you literally didn't have to do this. Why did you do this? Why? You probably know what I'm alluding to, but I'm just like, you did not have to go through all that trouble to save this person. Why did you do that? It would have seriously dampened our morale and, like, you know, discouraged a lot of people. Why did you do this? Like, it confuses you a lot. And again, that's part of the interest of the community towards Emmett Silk. And I guess there is still the excitement of Emmett Silk because he is the one that narrated the Endwalker trailer, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know. Like, we might see more of him in Endwalker. Who knows?
Ooh.
Alright. Second question. Do you prefer antagonists to have... Well, I mentioned this, but do you prefer antagonists that have a direct motive against the protagonist, or an antagonist where it's their philosophy or ideology that clashes with that of the protagonist? So either direct conflict or indirect conflict.
Well. Alright, it's time for me to gush about FF12 again.
Go ahead!
Yeah, alright, let's go. Okay, so my favorite villain ever is Vayne Solidar from FF12 because of the whole he doesn't fight anybody until like the very end, but he's still a threat because of his ideologies. And I think he's interesting as a villain because, like Emmett Selk, you start to wonder, is his motive really that bad? Because his whole motive is that he just wants humans to think independently, and he wants to like his whole like slogan is putting history back in the hands of man, because in the lore in FF12 everything is controlled by like the gods and stuff, and apparently that's a good thing, but Vane's like, no, that's a bad thing, because humans should be able to think for themselves and
we
have
are not truly free from the system.
Yeah, like, hey, I think, having autonomy over our own bodies and our own fates is a good thing. And everybody's like, no, you're crazy. That's a bad thing. And I'm all like, wait a minute. How is that a bad thing?
How is that a bad
why
thing?
Why is he the villain? And every time I play through 12, I'm like, why is he the villain? I don't understand. Because
as the philosophy major, I completely vibe with that line of thinking. Like, man should have the grasp of their own destiny and their fate. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, like, it's a good motive, and like, yes, I understand like his motives, like the way he goes about things is bad. Like, yes, poisoning your father to become the next emperor is bad. Executing everyone in the Senate so that you have no one to question you, it's probably not a good thing. But
I'll just give an example from Fire Emblem Three Houses. I'm pretty sure F. Bruce might see this coming. Edelgard from Fire Emblem Three Houses. Edelgard. She sees the crests as a curse, and the thing is, for people that didn't give a crap about the support system in Fire Emblem, it might have gone over your head. But if you look at the different troubles that every student in Three Houses has to go through, those that have crests and those that don't have crests, you start to sympathize a lot with Edelgard. Like, for Edelgard, I have a feeling I identify with Pain. True. But like, with Edelgard, of course, the idea of blood on her feet is something that she doesn't like. She realizes that there's going to be a lot of dead bodies at the end of this whole thing that she is doing, and she feels bad for it. But she reminds herself what she is fighting for. She's fighting for, again, a crestless society. And the reason she gives, the interactions you have with your students, with those who have and do not have crests, and several parts of the story where you're like, wow, people who have crests are practically assholes, aren't they? You can't help but like, you know what? Edelgard actually has a point, a very good point at that. It's not that crests are intrinsically bad, but the value that crests give are just so blown out of proportion. Like, okay, minor spoiler. There's one character in Fire Emblem Three Houses. She's a female character from the Blue Lions faction. She's one of my favorite characters, actually, Ingrid. It's Noblesse Obliged, but you don't get a choice, practically, yeah. So Ingrid Brandel Galatea, that's her full name. Ingrid has a crest, and her family, no one else in her family has a crest, and her family is in a financially bad situation. So, chat, you probably saw this coming, but basically the family wants her daughter to marry someone from a noble family that is crestless, because that is how much value crests have. You can be a plebeian, but if for some reason you have a crest, nobles are willing to suck dick just to get that crest. Okay, so again, like, Ingrid is really not at the best spot in her life. So, and she has this conversation several times with Dorothea, like, about there's even a side quest where she was supposed to meet a noble, but obviously the noble wasn't like, no, you're not just going to meet me, you're gonna marry me, you have no choice. and I'm just like, oh wow, you fucking prick! I'm gonna get this sword and shank you with it. I swear to God. But yeah, like you see, that's just one side quest from one character. There are other characters that share their views on crests, and again, like in other paths, Edelgard is always the villain. But you pick the Edelgard route, and you're literally fighting the system. And you can't help but as you fight faces you're familiar with, you sort of feel the guilt that Edelgard is going through as well. And that the depiction of it is very well done in Fire Emblem Three Houses. That's why I love Fire Emblem Three Houses so much. Like the depiction of the world, the characters, the conflict they go through, it's very well done. They actually put it on a spotlight. And that's what I really like. In an antagonist. Like, it's not direct conflict. It's a conflict more of like ideology and philosophy, and almost a hint of reluctance or guilt that the conflict even exists. Now, FF12 has been buried deep within the recesses of my memories, but I don't know. I guess would you say that Vayne has a lot of remorse for what they're doing?
I would say yes, because when he talks to his younger brother, it kind of sounds like he feels like he's only doing it because he has to, because his brother Larsa, he does everything he can to keep his brother out of like the war and out of like the stuff that he's in, because he wants to protect him, because he knows what he's doing is like fundamentally bad, but he kind of like, it's like he has no other option in order to get his goals done, which is like, I guess another thing I really like about him, because it shows that he's like not completely evil, because he does care about like at least his younger brother. I mean, he kind of like murdered his two older brothers, but that's neither here nor there. He likes his little brother. But yeah, he does everything that he can to protect Larsa, even though Larsa like still gets involved as a supporting character.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But yeah. It was 12.
Okay, that's fair. Alright, next question. We're almost done. Alright, in Tales of Arise, your party members have their own story segments that are part of a bigger story. Do you think more games should do this? So let me clarify real quick. Every party member is practically recruited in every major city. So their relationship or their conflicts that relate to that city are placed in a spotlight. I mean, no party member exemplifies this than Kisara and Dohalim. Because for Rinwell, you recruit her early on, but her conflict is like way later. As for Law, the person in conflict with him is basically behind the scenes, so you don't really get to see that much interaction. But when you get Kisara, like, you get to see practically firsthand the conflict that Kisara has with the city she's in and whatnot. So yeah, this whole dynamic, is this something you think more games should do? Where party members have their own big segment in the story?
I think so, because I feel like it helps you connect with the characters more when you like hear more about their individual struggles, and like when they have their own little life story. I mean, as long as it's not like getting in the way of like the overall plot, because that can happen. I really like games like Octopath Traveler. I think is a good example, because it's 8 different characters and they all have their own little thing going on. And yeah, Tales is another good example, because I think the if a character has their own little story going along with the plot, I feel like it helps you kind of makes you want to learn more about them, and it makes you like want to like know what else happens in their story, like do they get their conflict resolved, and it just makes you want to learn more about them as a character, like, oh, what happened for it to get this bad, or like where, or like what can we do to help them and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's fair, yeah. But yeah, I look at other games that could have done this. Again, a lot of the like the first games that come to mind is Final Fantasy. I don't know, like and a lot of hypotheticals are flooding in my head right now, but I could have seen parts of FF10 where in one particular arc a character would shine more so than Tidus and Yuna. I don't know. I wanted to see more of that. But of course, it's not something that video games should do as a standard. Like, or no, not as a standard, but just for the heck of it. But I think it's something that should be executed right. Like, you shouldn't do what Tales did because it's good just for the sake of doing it. No. Like, the thing is, the decision for that for Tales of Arise was by design, so they knew how to do it. They knew how to present it to the players. So other games can potentially do this, but they have to do it by design, not just for the heck of it. Because again, if there's one video game feature that tends to get a lot of flack, it's quick time events. Now, let me just emphasize. Personally, just because there is a quick time event in a game, I don't immediately dismiss it as crap. But Resident Evil 4 definitely changed how people perceive QTEs. Because to be fair, QTEs in that game felt really fun to do. Some were a bit dumb, but some were actually pretty cool. Now, what other games did, much to my chagrin, was that let's put QTEs just so, because you know QTEs were popular. No! You don't just press F to pay respects because no. You don't just press a button to do something that didn't need a QTE. No, you just no, not for the sake of it. QTEs are not popular because they are popular. QTEs are popular because of the design. Like in RE4, you have full control of your character compared to previous, where you know tank controls and aiming felt really clunky. So in RE4, the controls had to feel like you are in complete control of Leon. So not just Leon moving around, vaulting over stuff, kicking doors, shooting ganados. Even whenever he has to run away from a rock, it's different if you were using tank controls to run away from a rock and mashing A so you can run away from a rock. It's a very different experience. It makes sense there because the design was that it's action-paced, so it has to feel like you are in action. But it's just very jarring when again you see games that poorly implement QTEs, because hey, remember QTEs? Aren't they fun? Press F to pay respects. Bro, I did not need to do this. Now, there are creative ways to do QTEs, and the most gruesome yet creative way is definitely God of War 3. Alright, I'm gonna do a little quick mini gamer activity with Celio here. Celio, do you have a controller with you? Any controller. It doesn't have to be plugged to anything.
I do. I got an Xbox One controller.
Okay, pick it up. And anyone in chat, you can do the same, alright? You can do the same.
Alright.
Pick up any controller you have. It doesn't have to be plugged to anything. Alright, just pick it up and hold it. Alright, so, in God of War 3, your first boss fight as Kratos is against Poseidon. Now, PS4 controller, totally fine, Chaos. Now, your first boss fight is against Poseidon, and normally, in an action-packed game like this, movement is important. So your left thumb and your right thumb is on top of the analog sticks, right? So,
Yeah.
in one part of the Poseidon fight, before you kill him, Kratos, you're just mashing QTEs to match Kratos beating the blood out of Poseidon, practically. So, now there is one frightening segment where you are seeing Kratos beat you up from Poseidon's perspective. So, ooh, very brutal. Now here's the thing. The QTE command changes to L3 plus R3. I like everyone who has a controller right now to press that. Like L3 and R3. And you visualize it in front of you. Like you hold the controller in front of you, press L3 and R3. And let me tell you the context. What was Kratos doing in this part? He was holding Poseidon's face and his thumbs were over his eyes. And there you go. There you go. It was a very gruesome and creative way to immerse the player, so to speak. First time I did that, I was like, whoa, my thumbs suddenly felt a little weird. You just basically gouged his eyes out with your thumbs. And how did you do it? By using L3 plus R3. It could have been any button like like square and X, L1 plus R1. But no, they had to go full immersion like L3 plus R3. And you feel the feedback from the analog stick, like click, like oh, interesting. See, those kinds of QTEs that have creativity and design in mind, those are fine. But yeah, like I swear, ideas like this, like we mentioned earlier, party members having their big story moment. It's a good idea on the surface, but it has to be implemented by design and with intent, not just, for the heck of it. Okay, that's my take here. All right, and next question: with the voice acting industry being just as big as the video game industry to some extent, do you think non-voice protagonists can still shine?
I think so. I mean, my first big example that I could think of is like the Legend of Zelda series. I mean, like, Link hasn't said a word in like a billion years.
It's the Legend of Zelda, so Zelda is the guy, right?
No!
I'm kidding. All right, I'm kidding. I'm just doing the meme. All right, I'm just doing the meme.
I know the meme. Funny. Yeah. Well, yeah. I think. I mean, like a lot of Nintendo protagonists don't have really like big voices. I mean, like Mario. He says a couple of things. Pizza, pasta, macaroni. Are we? Yeah, like.
I'm pretty sure I have a sound alert for Mario's like sound when he falls. Hang on, let me play that real quick. wait.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of like the Nintendo characters, they don't have voices, and like those are some of the most iconic characters in video games, you know? So yeah, I don't think you have to have a voice to be iconic.
Fair. But I mentioned this in the context of a recent game that was announced to get a remake, and that is KOTOR. Hello, Soli, welcome. Glad you could make it. Okay, and yes, Soli, by the way, we did answer the question, why is Emmet Silk so sexy? Oh wait, hang on. Soli redeemed the Oogabunga chant? Okay, sure, no problem.
Oh, I want to hear this.
Okay, Sumbaba King aga Humbaba Tai, Humbaba King aga Hungung Kung Hai. Okay, there's Tonga Bunga chat. Okay, like I was saying, so yeah, like a lot of, again, as Celio did mention earlier, a lot of Nintendo characters don't have voice acting like lines in particular. I mean, friggin' Mario just literally like hang on, where is the the Super Mario 64 oof. Like I mean it's oof there. Oof. Or even his whenever he falls, yeah. Oh dang it, hang on. Chaos! Fine, I'll say the thing. Okay. Celio, feel free to say this as well if you want.
Okay.
Okay, I have to start. Okay. Okaeri nasai, anata. Gohan no taberu? Ofuru ni suru? Soretomo watashi?
Oh. I can't follow along with that.
Do you want me to DM it to you so you do it?
What? Me? Nah, the redeem was for you. Is your channel.
Okay, I'll surrender to that. Okay, no problem. Chaos enjoying watching me suffer. Okay.
Oh, great, now you're gonna make me do stupid things on my channel too now, huh, Chaos?
No,
Fuck! I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything like that.
Yet. Alright, now just to finish the topic of this question. So, in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Revan was not voiced. Now, there's a lot of speculation, like, in the remake, would Revan be voiced or not? Now, personally, KOTOR was my very first BioWare game. So this is just from someone who has played the game before. I would prefer that Revan not be voiced. But if they decide to have Revan voiced, I hope they do it justice, I guess. I hope they do. Anyhow, okay, penultimate question. Alright, only 2 questions left. What is a sin or bad decision you hate seeing towards characters in a video game?
Well, I really hate the, like, redemption through death trope. I think that's so annoying to me.
God.
Oh my god. I guess the prime example I can think of is Heaven's Word, Isail.
Damn it!
I got you! Yeah, that's so annoying because I feel like once we were finally starting to, like, bond with her and, like, I feel like she was redeeming herself just fine.
She
being
was.
in our party. And just when, like, we were, like, really getting along with her, she dies! And it's so stupid! And she's all like, I can finally be at peace. And it's like, what the fuck, girl? I hate it. I hate that trope so much. It's so annoying.
Lord.
Because it's unnecessary, like 95% of the time. Honestly, like, 100% of the time.
It's
really.
not like it's not like she didn't. It's not like she couldn't choose death, but it's like, yeah, I choose death. No, you could, barrage the ship with ice spells from a distance, like with the ship, so you're safe and all. But nah, you have to go through all the drama and theatrics of putting yourself like, hee, big booba target, aim at me, I die, and I am redeemed. No. I would have preferred if she was alive, but oh well.
I know, I miss her.
I miss her so much. As for me, if there's one sin or bad decision I hate seeing towards characters in a video game, two in particular. One is I really hate it when video game franchise suddenly retcon certain parts of your character.
Oh yeah, that's annoying.
That pisses me off so much. And to give an example, and let me put a warning out there. Yoko rant incoming. I'm gonna give Last of Us 2 as an example. Okay? Here's the thing. Okay. So look. Joel and Tommy. Oh wait, sorry. Joel told Tommy what he did at the end of The Last of Us. So Tommy knows that just about every surviving Firefly out there wants Joel dead. Like literally dead in the worst way possible. And it's understandable if you know what he did at the end of The Last of Us. He basically doomed the world with doomed the world to a vaccine-less. Yeah, they could have gotten a vaccine from Efrus. Yeah, I totally agree. So yeah, he doomed the world. He basically snatched away a possible cure by making sure Ellie lives. Like, I can't blame him, but Jesus Christ, you doomed billions of lives potentially. Now, many arguments would be made, like, logistically though, how would they be able to get the vaccine out? And in a facility like that, there's no way they can deploy it all over the world, especially when anarchy and chaos is out there. Would people even accept the vaccine? Those are very fair points. But I'm just talking about the whole character morality and decision here. Like, I get that it's very in character for Joel to do that, but Jesus Christ. Anyhow. So, Last of Us 2, Joel tells Tommy what he did, and both of them are like, yeah, we have to keep our heads down. Totally, we have to keep our heads down. And even back then, Joel and Tommy were very, very, like, cautious when interacting with strangers. So, when Joel and Tommy encounter Abby for the very first time, and then they go to their safe house, like, that's already a major retcon for me, because I'm like, Tommy and Joel are very cautious pairs. They know that they have a huge target on their heads. There is no way that these two are gonna trust Abby, who they just met, because Abby's just like, yeah, I'm with a bunch of other survivors over here. I'm pretty sure that they would have thought of another option than just trust a bunch of strangers we've met. Worst thing, even worse, when they get to that safe house alone with a group of which is like 8 people and there's only 2 of them, Tommy is like, I'm Tommy, this is Joel. Dude, you just mentioned a name that if one of them was a Firefly would have literally just killed Joel on the spot. And I'm just like, no, this is not in character. This is completely out of character. This is not Joel or Tommy. That's one of the things that really pissed me off about the death. Like, a lot of people, whenever, like, some of my friends who are huge fans of The Last of Us 2, if any of you are watching, I love you guys. I envy anyone who can wholeheartedly enjoy and praise The Last of Us 2 like it's the best game ever. I envy you, okay? I don't hate you. Please, no. I love you guys. I envy you. But Jesus Christ, whenever I complain about his death, I'm not complaining about how he died, okay? They could have killed him in so many ways. Throw him in a bucket of acid, shoot him in the head, play golf in the most brutal way, a trading card game in hell, it doesn't matter, alright? They could have killed him in any way. I would have been fine because he had it coming. Joel had it coming. But if you're telling me that this is how he's gonna die because they just said their name, which 100% of the time I will confidently say there's no way Joel would do that. You might say, but it's been years, maybe they softened up. No, absolutely not. Joel and Tommy would not risk that, knowing how serious a thing Joel did and the state of the world outside their own community. There's no way they would do that. There's no way. But, I mean, the fact that they just retconned that, like, your character is not what you realize, like, what the F? what the actual fuck. Oh, I hate it so much whenever they do that. Now, the second one that I hate. Now this is a bit controversial because some people will be like, but hey, we love that. Okay. I absolutely despise blatant fan service for the sake of fan service.
Yeah, like, okay, like
look,
I know I like to joke around about how I love, like how horny sheep, yeah. But yeah, that's so annoying.
Kisara's ass.
Hey, that we mean that was necessary fan service. I needed that.
Kiss our ass. Yes, kiss our ass.
Personally, I needed that.
Yes, I needed that too. But like, what I mean by not very tasteful, like blatant fan service, I literally mean like, there is no reason why is this character conveniently bending over in a situation like that? Like, what the heck? Or some male character spreading their legs for no reason at all. And I'm just like, you could have done this in a better circumstance that kind of warrants it, but come on, keep it tasteful. Look, I'm not anti-appreciating body features, okay? No, you can appreciate all the legs, ass, booba, man boobs, abs, and whatever you want. No, you're free to do that. Just do it tastefully, for fuck's sake. I mean, I want to say people don't just buy a game because haha, character hot, but I know people who would buy a character because he, she hot. I mean, yeah, there are people like that, but please don't treat the game like that's the only kind of player base you have. That's all I'm saying. Like, please.
I feel like a good example of that is Atelier Ryza.
Oh my god!
It's like so sad because like the game itself is like really cute and wholesome because like it's an Atelier game. Like, Atelier games are like really cute and wholesome, but like the way the fandom just decimated Ryza.
Yeah, but look, like, see, I mean, I can even agree with Marika here. Only buys character because hot, like I can't disagree with it. But like,
I mean, that's why I play fighting games.
I know, right? Like, I remember when Mariva asked me, like, do you have any characters to suggest, like, for my playstyle? And then before I even suggest, preferably female, I'm like, I know! I already knew from the start you wanted to play a female character because female hot. I get it, okay? I totally agree with that. Like, Woman hot, yes. Like, seriously, my best characters in Tekken are female. Are female. And my only defense, like, whenever people are, you just want tits, ass, and you just want to simp for the character. No, not only that, but the female characters and I speak from facts. Okay, these are facts. The female characters in Tekken 7 intrinsically have better movement than the male characters. Okay, like, seriously, female characters by design in Tekken 7 generally has better movement than male characters. Generally. It doesn't apply to every one of them, but generally they do. They have better sidesteps. In particular, they have better sidesteps. And the fact that they have a smaller hitbox, at least some of them, there are some wall combos that won't work, so that's an extra advantage for you if you pick a female character. As Efru's, oh my god, Efru's mentioned, I like literally started playing Tekken because Asuka. Asuka, oh my god.
My Tekken main is Miguel. Haha.
May I ask why?
Cause he's hot.
Because he's if only they put Jun in Tekken 7. Oh man.
Yeah.
I wish, F-Ruse, I wish. I don't know if Tekken 7 will have Season 5 or straight up Tekken 8 or whatever they have planned after. But, like, if I wanted to hype Tekken 8, I would release Jun as a DLC character. Tekken Tag 2 iteration of Jun, because I don't want Jun to just be a carbon copy of Asuka. Because while they have the same fighting style, Jun's playstyle in Tekken Tag 2 is slightly different. Oh no, not slightly. It's significantly different from Asuka's. So that's what I want. But yeah, like yeah, fan service for this. Oh, F off with a friggin' Piccolo, damn it. But yeah, like fan service for the sake of fan service is just really annoying, in my opinion. It's really annoying. Like, look, you can have your players appreciate how hot your male or female character is without having to flash their assets in your face. Okay, that's all I'm saying. That's literally all I'm saying. Okay. I mean, sorry to use Kisara as an example. It's not like she is parking her ass in front of your face every cutscene. You're normal. But I do find it funny. There was this one scene I'm like, very convenient placing of Kisara's ass.
Haha. I know that scene. Haha.
Very convenient placement. Almost Shiroi. It's almost like it was deliberate. Haha, wink wink.
Hi, honey.
Okay, final question. Here we go. So, regarding character-driven games and or games that have big emphasis on story, how important are they in today's video game industry?
I think they're super important because I feel like more games nowadays are like more I guess theatrical in a sense.
Or multiplayer heavy.
Yeah, like a lot of the cutscenes are more like movie looking, like Last of Us 2. I didn't play the game, but I watched some of the cutscenes and kind of it felt like I was watching a movie. And like a lot of these like AAA games are really like theatrical looking, and like they want to make the story as like immersive as possible to make it feel like not just you're playing a game, but you're also like watching the story unfold. So yeah, I do think the story is like really important, and like the characters are really important for like delivering that like immersive interactive experience and stuff.
A lot of people credit MGS5 for starting that. I wouldn't say MGS5, but I would say Metal Gear Solid in general. Because Kojima is a movie buff. Like, even calling him a movie buff, in my opinion, is an understatement. But like, Metal Gear Solid literally like put story as the main focus. Like, the tactical stealth espionage aspect of MGS was so good, but the story aspects was even better because the voice actors felt like they weren't just voice acting or reading scripts. They felt like they were actually acting. And I would say that's true for just about every Metal Gear Solid game. The characters there feel like they're not just reading a script, like they are living they are experiencing what's going on. And I think these kind of games are still very important, They're still very important in today's video game industry. I mean, as much as I do not despise Last of Us 2 anymore. I just don't like it. But as much as I don't like Last of Us 2, we still need more games like Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, God of War, Metal Gear Solid. Story-driven games that have very character-driven elements. We need more of those. Well, it's not like we don't have a shortage, but they are still relevant. I honestly think they are still very relevant in today's industry. Now, Kotor! Now, just to give a recent example, you know how EA games recently have made nothing but multiplayer games, right? Like, you know, FIFA, NBA, Star Wars Battlefront, mostly multiplayer games. So when they came out with Star Wars Fallen Order, which I played and I enjoyed, mind you, I'm just like, EA is in trouble. Because you guys just disproved yourselves that I forgot what exact line, but EA basically said no one plays single player games anymore. Bullshit! Bull effing shit. People still play freaking single player games, and they've been much more successful regarding the reception of their multiplayers. It totally is. And yeah, thank you, Chaos, for saying COD, because COD campaign has taken a backseat a lot. And that disappoints me. I'm not saying the multiplayer game aspect shouldn't be treated as a priority, but don't treat the campaign, the single player experience, like it's just a mini game. Because that's practically what it feels like. It's really... I don't know why that's a thing now in COD. Like, Black Ops Cold War, the campaign was so fun, but it was so short. Why? Because obviously they put emphasis on the multiplayer. Damn it! Oh, man. But yeah, and if you noticed, like, I don't put that much importance in the Game Awards or Game Awards in general, but the only multiplayer game that has won a game of the year was Overwatch, if I'm not mistaken. Other games that have won the Game of the Year have always been single player games. Witcher 3, Breath of the Wild, God of War, Sekiro. So yeah, I don't know what EA was smoking when they said people don't play single player games. Bullcrap. Bullcrap. That's all I'm saying. Alright. Thank you. That's it. That's the last question. That is the last question. Oh my god.
Yay! We did it.
Yes.
Hey.
Alright. While Celio and I chill just for like 5 more minutes, feel free to ask any more questions you guys might have. So yeah, we'll just chill for a bit and talk about other stuff for like 5 minutes or so.
Sick. Cool. Hey. I was just gonna talk about Endwalker again, huh?
Yeah, I was actually about to bring that up. What class are you going to main for Endwalker?
I don't know. Well, I'm a dancer main. I usually play that during the MSQ, but recently I've been getting into healing. I've been playing Astrologian for the past like couple months.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if I want to main it during Endwalker because they're getting rid of the sects, which I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
I liked going into like Nocturnal Diurnal sect, and they're taking that away. So I don't know how I feel. I also like Dark Knight. I play all 3 roles. I do tank, healer, and DPS. Just because I like to feel flexible or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna I'm probably just gonna do dancer. Because I was when I was looking at the new move actions, really like the new dancer animations.
Oh yeah, a lot
really
of them
pretty.
look really pretty, especially like the peacock thing. That the woof.
I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Yes.
Well,
so yeah, I'm probably
curious.
gonna go in.
Your warrior of light is a what?
A Mikote, Seeker of the Sun.
female seeker of the sun?
I'm a cat girl.
Ah, so you are literally around 60% of the population of ERC.
Hey, that's right.
That's right.
And I'm proud of that.
Yeah, you embrace that.
I do. Every now and then I'll Fantasia into something else whenever I'm like really bored, like
I sympathize with you. I am a Fanta addict.
I know. I used to be it was a lot worse during like the lull of Stormblood.
Oh no.
I Fantasia'd a lot. I haven't done it as much now because I realized every time I would Fantasia into something I just really missed my cat girl. So I've been trying to like not do it as much, but every now and then I like to Fantasia into like a male aura just because I want to be a guy sometimes.
That's fair. But for me, my warrior flight is currently a female Highlander hero.
Ooh.
If there's a reason why, it's because like I like having a scar over an eye for my warrior flight. Like I just have this headcanon that there's no way my warrior flight doesn't have a scar somewhere. After all the conflict we've been through, there's no way we've gotten through this unscathed.
True.
Like if auras and Vieras had a scar that was as big as the ones for female Highlander and Rogadins, I would probably stick to Aura or Viera more. But yeah, throughout my whole FF14 lifespan, I think I've been a female Mikote more than I have any other race. But if I were to rank it like duration-wise, I have been a Mikote more, followed by Aura, and then female Highlander, and then I'm pretty sure my Elezen and Viera are tied. So yeah, that's basically it. Hopefully, fingers crossed, but I hope Frothgars have a scar option. I really hope they do.
I feel like they will.
Yeah, I mean, like the male Hrothgars have a lot of really cool looking scars, and I mean, if they are going to stick to the whole trope of big strong women must have scars, like okay, we're gonna give the best looking scars to female Highlanders, female Rogadins, and Hrothgars. Okay. I can totally see it coming, but I want.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm still crossing my fingers for that one. As for what I was gonna main in Endwalker, initially I was thinking of Reaper because every expansion so far I have mained since Stormblood. I have mained the newest class. I've always made the newest class. I was supposed to do Reaper for Endwalker, but I saw the job action trailer and I saw Monk. I saw the Monk job actions and I'm just like, oh no, I have to go Monk now.
Uh-oh.
I have to go Monk. The animations look so good and the dash is so good.
Oh yeah, like pretty much I feel like everybody's getting a gap closer now.
Well, yeah, but like the changes they did to the dash, it's no like you can actually dash to your allies now apparently. So,
oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, Monk dash works the same way it used to, but you can also dash to your party members like you would as a black mage. And I'm just like, that's cool.
That's kind of OP right there.
Not as OP in my opinion as Ninja. Ninja already had Shikuchi and they still give them a gap close. Like, what the F? The lightning charge, I forgot the name that the community has given it, but man, like the fact that the ninja just spins lightning charge towards you, like, whoa. We didn't need that. Like, in my opinion, we didn't need that because we had Shikuchi, but okay, thank you for giving us a gap close. So wait. Alright, before we end the stream, I have to ask a question and I will answer this as well. Who is one video game character you would love to take out for a date?
Miguel Tekken.
No, Miguel Tekken? Oh, can you please explain?
Hot big man. This question, I'm blushing.
Hot
Oh boy!
big man.
Oh boy!
You know, it might please you to know that Miguel was recently buffed in Tekken 7.
Yeah, he's buff. What? I mean, what?
Yeah. I saw that answer coming a mile away.
What?
But yeah, can you expound on that a little more? I want to know.
The braids. What? F, get out of here! Get out of here, F! Close your eyes. Delete this before my man sees. Oh my! I don't know. I've had like a video game crush on him since like Tekken like
6.
What, 5, 6? Yeah, I'm man. Yeah, Daddy. Sorry. I mean,
like,
sorry.
Hot
sorry.
because hot
Yeah.
Latino man with a very nice accent.
Yeah. Period. Yeah. My model's breaking. I'm so excited. Yeah.
Let's see. If I were to take a character out on a date, oof. I think I would take out. I think I'd take female Robin out for a date.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I want to discuss philosophy with her. Like, she may be she may be a tactician, but I'm pretty sure she's read a couple of philosophy books, and I want to discuss philosophy with her.
Chaos, what hat? I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't seen a hat since I became Life 2D. There is no hat.
Oh,
Part of
I
your
know the
imagination.
hat that Chaos is talking about.
No, there's no hat. No, there's no hat.
I'm pretty sure that hat says something women.
No, well, we're not talking about women. I'm talking about a man. Joke's on you.
Yes, it's all jokes until Endwalker comes. I'm gonna check your VODs. I'm pretty sure if there's any female character that pops up, you're gonna... Hey, I would
Get
too.
out of here.
I would too. I would too.
Whoa, man.
Whoa, man. Alright. Okay, as a habit, I'm gonna move over to the schedule for this week. Hang on. Oh, okay. So this was Try Talk episode 5 with Celio. Thank you so much for being my guest for this one. I highly appreciate it.
Yes, thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Yes. Later tonight, I might stream some Back for Blood because I just want to shoot zombies.
Cool,
Okay.
cool.
Sunday, I might stream a couple of games, perhaps? ? You guys, Foxtrots and the lovely sheeps from Celo's channel, you can follow me on my Twitter if you want, so you can stay up to date. And of course, Foxtrots, if you have not, please do give this adorable hell sheep support and give them a follow on their channel. Please do.
Yeah.
Mariva, I'd go on a date with you from Persona 4. The absolute Chad that is you, Narukami. God, looking good, Joker. Looking good, Joker. My God. Alright, I'll roll over the red carpet for you this time, Celio. Do you want to promote anything for your channel or anything? Please, the carpet's yours.
Well, I am actually a pre-debut VTuber. I haven't had my official debut yet, but I will be announcing my official debut very soon. I still have a lot of things that I want to work on with my channel, but I'll be posting on my Twitter when I do have my eventual debut. So yeah, if you guys want to stay tuned, and if you just want to hang out with me and talk with me, and if you want to like just see any of my streams that I had before, then yeah, follow my Twitch channel and my Twitter, and you can all be my wonderful little sheep peeps, and for free. I don't pay, but I don't need paid.
Is it okay if
Ta-da!
I link your Twitter?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, here you
Sure.
go. Here is Celio's Twitter. Yep.
Yeah.
Give that Twitter a follow so you can stay up to date with her announcements and whatnot. So yeah. Okay. Let's get this party rolling. Let's see who we're gonna raid. Let's see who I can raid. Oh boy. A certain Zappy boy is playing a spooky game for Spooktober, so we may as well. Vault is currently streaming The Medium, so we are going to raid Vault. Big love for sheep, absolutely. Yes. Support this precious, adorable sheep.
Let's go.
Yes. Okay. Alright, there's the raid message. Don't spam it too much, please, Foxtrots and Sheep Peeps, but I highly appreciate your support. Thank you for dropping by for episode 5! Because episode 6 is also happening next week! I'll announce tomorrow the details about that, so please look forward to that. I will see you all next time, and thank you again, Celio, for dropping by.
Thank you.
Sayonara desu! Oh wait, I still have to start the raid.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry, I did not end it yet. Yeah, like, they can
Go.
still hear the mic and whatnot, it's alright. Alright, there is the raid thingy-mabobber raid. Shadow Legends, okay.